In the late 19th century, the small, unassuming town of Aurora, Texas, found itself at the center of a sensational claim that would resonate across centuries. This was the era of the Great Airship Mystery, when numerous sightings of mysterious flying objects were reported across the United States. Aurora, however, had a unique story to tell. In 1897, an article appeared in the local newspaper, the Dallas Morning News, reporting an astonishing event. An airship, as it was described, had crashed on a local farmer's property. But what truly ignited public imagination was the claim of a single alien casualty from the crash. According to the report, the townsfolk gave the Martian pilot a Christian burial in the local cemetery. The Aurora incident has sparked endless debates. Skeptics argue the story was a fabrication, a desperate attempt to revive a dying town plagued by multiple misfortunes. The lack of solid physical evidence and the second-hand nature of many accounts have been used to support this view. Yet others believe the story contains kernels of truth. Persistent searches for the supposed alien grave and calls for exhumation have been made, but to no avail. The grave marker was mysteriously removed, and the exact location has been lost to time. The Aurora alien incident, though lesser known, remains a fascinating tale in the annals of UFO history. It is a poignant reminder that our quest to understand our place in the universe is not a recent endeavor, but a journey that has been intertwined with our history for centuries.
It had big eyes. That's all I saw about it, big eyes.
From the dawn of civilization, humankind has gazed upon the cosmos, searching for answers. Answers to questions that have piqued our collective curiosity for centuries. Are we alone? Is there life beyond our tiny blue planet? Are we being visited by beings from other worlds? As we explore the night sky, these questions fuel our desire for understanding. In this documentary, we'll delve into the fascinating world of UFOs and extraterrestrial encounters, unearthing tales that have captivated and perplexed generations. From ancient cave paintings to modern military confrontations, we'll explore the compelling stories of those who have come face to face with the unknown. Join us as we embark on an engaging journey through time and space. Along the way, we'll examine the intriguing evidence, decipher the enigmatic accounts, and grapple with the ever-present question, what if we're not alone? It's easy to perceive UFOs and aliens as a product of modern times, a phenomenon born out of the space age, nurtured by science fiction, and propelled into the mainstream by our ever-evolving technology. Yet when we delve deeper into the chapters of human history, we find that our ancestors too shared a connection with the sky and the unknown that lies beyond. The echoes of such encounters resound through the ages, etched into the fabric of ancient cultures across the globe. Take, for instance, the prehistoric cave paintings found in regions as diverse as India, France, and Algeria, depicting what appear to be humanoid figures clad in what can only be described as spacesuits, or the petroglyphs showcasing seemingly celestial events. Then there are the Vimanas, mythical flying palaces or chariots described in ancient Indian epics, some of which bear striking resemblance to modern descriptions of UFOs. Could these be misinterpreted sightings of advanced technology, recorded through the lens of mythology and spirituality? Or consider the array of Renaissance art, where several notable paintings seem to feature inexplicable flying objects, often interpreted as divine manifestations. From the Madonna with St. Giovannino to the Crucifixion of Christ, housed in Kosovo's Visoki Dekani Monastery, these artworks have sparked centuries of debate. Even the scriptures and texts of ancient civilizations contain narratives that, to a modern reader, might read like encounters with extraterrestrial beings or advanced technology. Accounts of fiery chariots in the sky, godly figures descending from the heavens, and epic tales of celestial battles, were these merely symbolic, or could they have been attempts to describe phenomena beyond their comprehension? Yet, as we sift through the sands of time, we must remember that interpreting these accounts through a modern lens can be fraught with assumptions. The truth, as they say, may be stranger than fiction. As we transition from the echoes of the ancient world to the dawn of the modern UFO era, we arrive at a pivotal moment in history, the Kenneth Arnold sighting. It's this event that popularized the term flying saucer and marked the beginning of a global fascination with unidentified flying objects. Let's delve into this seminal moment and explore how it has shaped our understanding of the unexplained. June 24, 1947. Kenneth Arnold, a private pilot and businessman, was flying over the Cascade Mountains in the state of Washington. It was on this clear, sunny afternoon that Arnold would become an unsuspecting catalyst in the world of ufology. Arnold reported observing a chain of 9 peculiar flying objects, moving at high speed, unlike any aircraft he knew of. These weren't your typical aircraft. They lacked a tail and flew in a distinctive undulating motion that Arnold likened to a saucer skipping on water. This vivid description led to the media coining the term flying saucers, a phrase that would soon capture the public's imagination. What distinguished Arnold's account was not just the sighting itself, but also the credibility he carried as an experienced pilot and respected businessman. When he reported his encounter, he described the objects as appearing crescent-shaped, metallic, and incredibly fast, covering a distance of around 50 miles in just 1 minute and 42 seconds. In the aftermath of the sighting, Arnold faced both ridicule and support. Yet he stood by his account until the end of his life, sparking intrigue and inspiring a wave of subsequent sightings across the world. But later that summer, a thunderstorm over the deserts of New Mexico would change UFO lore forever. In the aftermath of a ferocious thunderstorm in July 1947, the deserts of Roswell, New Mexico, became the stage for one of the most controversial and enduring UFO incidents in history. As the storm receded, local rancher Mac Brazel discovered something extraordinary. Amid the customary debris left by a storm, he found fragments of an object unlike any he had seen before: metallic rods, pieces of plastic-like material, and thin, indestructible foil-like substances. Recognizing the strangeness of the materials, Brazel reported his find to the local sheriff, who alerted the nearby Roswell Army airfield. The military's reaction was immediate and intense. They secured the site and collected the debris under the guidance of Major Jesse Marcel. The intrigue surrounding the incident escalated when the Roswell Army airfield issued a press release stating they had recovered a flying disc. This announcement, made amidst a recent surge of flying saucer sightings, sent shockwaves across the nation. However, the military abruptly retracted the statement the very next day, insisting the debris was merely remnants of a weather balloon. This swift about-face raised eyebrows. The hurried retraction, the military's control over the narrative, and the nature of the debris found caused many to question the official explanation. Over the years, the Roswell incident has become synonymous with government cover-ups and secrecy, inspiring countless books, documentaries, and even a popular TV series. Various whistleblowers and alleged insiders have come forward, claiming that the Roswell crash was indeed an extraterrestrial event, and that the military had recovered alien bodies. These stories fueled further speculation and controversy, solidifying Roswell's place as a pivotal moment in UFO history. The legacy of the Roswell incident has also impacted other UFO crash stories. Similar events, such as the Kecksburg UFO incident and the Varginha UFO incident, have drawn comparisons to Roswell, suggesting a pattern of government cover-ups and secrecy surrounding possible extraterrestrial encounters. In 1996, the city of Varginha, Brazil, became the epicenter of an enigmatic series of events that continue to captivate UFO enthusiasts and skeptics alike. This captivating narrative unfolds around claims by local residents who reported encounters with strange creatures and the sighting of at least one unidentified flying object. The story weaves a complex tapestry that includes the alleged capture of extraterrestrial beings by Brazilian authorities. The heart of this narrative pulses around the account of 3 women, aged between 14 and 22, who on the afternoon of January 20th, 1996, claimed to have sighted a creature with a large head and a bipedal stance. They described the creature as having skin marked with vein-like spots and bumpy protrusions on its head, with its eyes resembling 2 glowing red orbs. The creature seemed unsteady, possibly injured or sick. Frightened by the encounter, they fled the scene, later recounting their ordeal as a meeting with the devil. Following this sighting, rumors spread like wildfire, with more reports of UFO sightings and strange creatures. Claims emerged of additional extraterrestrial entities being collected and observed at a local hospital. Unusual military activity and unexplained animal deaths in the local zoo added further intrigue to the unfolding narrative. However, an official inquiry by the Brazilian military, concluded in 2010, provided a different interpretation. They suggested the women may have encountered a homeless man with a mental disability, known locally as Mudinho. They argued that his physical characteristics, coupled with his dirty appearance due to heavy rain, might have been mistaken for an alien creature. And while it's certainly possible that there was some kind of misidentification of a natural phenomenon, perhaps combined with a level of mass hysteria, there are cases even more bizarre. As we probe further into the enigmatic realm of the extraterrestrial, we encounter tales that eclipse mere sightings, narratives that penetrate personal spaces, our homes, our very psyche. These are close encounters of the fourth kind, experiences teetering on the precipice of our comprehension of reality. Among them, the accounts of Betty and Barney Hill. On a fall night in 1961, Betty and Barney Hill, a couple from New Hampshire, were returning from a vacation when they found themselves under the unblinking gaze of an inexplicable light in the night sky. The light morphed into an enormous disc-shaped object, hanging over their vehicle with a silent, foreboding presence. What unfolded next was a series of events that seemed to mock logic and reality. For what seemed like miles, as they traveled down the dark and eerie country roads, the light followed them. The disc seemed to move silently and had no visible means of propulsion. Barney, growing curious, reached into the glove box for a pair of binoculars. Barney observed humanoid figures through his binoculars, their silent gaze returning his own. A wave of dread washed over them as they confronted the enormity of their predicament, prompting them to flee. Yet, they were soon ensnared in a strange buzzing sensation, a disorientating fog of amnesia. When it lifted, they found themselves further down the road, their memories of how they got there blank. In the ensuing weeks, Betty was haunted by nightmares, vivid and harrowing visions of being inside the craft, subjected to an examination by non-human entities. Desperate for answers, they reached out to Dr. Benjamin Simon, a leading psychiatrist. Through hypnosis, they unearthed fragmented memories of an alleged abduction.
And the examiner has a long needle in his hand.
In the years following Betty and Barney's harrowing encounter, a growing number of people from all corners of the globe came forward with similar stories. These accounts, spanning cultures and continents, shared strikingly common elements, further intensifying the enigma of alien abductions. One individual who stepped into the limelight with his own chilling account was Whitley Strieber, a renowned horror writer. In a departure from fiction, Strieber chronicled his own alleged abduction experience in the book Communion. When the book hit the shelves in 1987, it wasn't just the unsettling narrative that captured the public's imagination, but also the haunting cover art. The book's cover, which prominently featured the face of what is commonly referred to as an alien grey, stirred a deep, visceral reaction in countless people around the world. Many claimed that the eerie visage jogged their memories, making them realize that they too had seen that face before. This chilling connection resonated with readers, prompting even more individuals to come forward with their own accounts of inexplicable encounters. Next, we'll delve into even more bizarre encounters, the realm of mass sightings.
Saying they sighted an unidentified flying object last night.
It almost seemed to be under the clouds. As it came past, I noticed there's no noise, and that's when I thought, well, there's something very odd here.
And I dismissed it so quickly because I thought, there's no way that a mass landing with the sheer volume of eyewitness testimony at a school in broad daylight could happen and the whole world not know about it.
And I saw this person, and it had big eyes.
We saw this like a silver thing down there. It was a silver oval thing.
On the morning of September 16th, 1994, approximately 60 schoolchildren were outside playing during recess when they noticed a strange craft hovering over the school's grounds. The craft, accompanied by a smaller, sphere-shaped object, landed nearby, and the children reported seeing one or more beings emerging from the vessel. These beings were described as being small in stature, with large black eyes and wearing tight-fitting suits. The children, ranging in age from 6 to 12 years old, claimed that the beings approached them, communicating telepathically and conveying messages about humanity's treatment of the environment and the planet's uncertain future. The encounter, which lasted for about 15 minutes, left the children shaken and deeply affected. In the aftermath of the event, numerous investigators and researchers descended upon the school, interviewing the children and their teachers. Many of the interviews were recorded on video.
It was this big ship. It had these lights, these patterns, and it flew.
That's all I saw about it, big eyes.
Nestled in the heart of Europe, Belgium, a land famous for its rich tapestry of history, culture, and picturesque landscapes, found itself entangled in a captivating and enigmatic extraterrestrial mystery that spanned from 1989 to 1990. This intriguing period, now known as the Belgian UFO wave, was marked by a series of sightings of an unusual triangular craft, a mystery that ignited both awe-filled intrigue and analytical skepticism in equal measure. These sightings were not confined to a select few. Rather, they were reported by thousands of ordinary Belgian citizens who found the extraordinary hovering above their homes. The craft, often described as a silent triangular shape with bright lights at each corner and a more intense reddish one at the center, made its presence known over Belgium's bustling cities and serene countryside, stirring public curiosity and raising perplexing questions about its origin, purpose, and the implications of its presence. The narrative took a dramatic turn on the night of March 30th, 1990. The Belgian Air Force, responding to these puzzling occurrences, scrambled 2 F-16 fighter jets to intercept the enigmatic objects that had now started to make appearances on the military radar. What unfolded was a cat-and-mouse chase in the night sky. The craft, exhibiting an uncanny and seemingly impossible ability to outmaneuver the jets, accelerated at speeds and performed maneuvers that seemed to scoff at our human understanding of aeronautics. This incident, far from being an isolated report, was validated by ground radar stations, adding a profound layer of credibility to the sightings and lending weight to the argument that something genuinely inexplicable was at play. The Belgian UFO wave, while captivating UFO enthusiasts and the general public with its air of mystique, also drew the attention of skeptics and the scientific community. Numerous theories began to surface, attempting to explain the phenomenon within the confines of our current understanding. Some suggested mass hysteria, others pointed towards misidentified conventional aircraft, and some even suggested that the radar blips might have been a product of atmospheric interference or electronic malfunctions in the military systems. Critics were quick to emphasize the lack of physical evidence and the heavy reliance on eyewitness accounts, which are known to be susceptible to error and misinterpretation. The Belgian Air Force, after conducting a comprehensive investigation, concluded with a frustrating yet tantalizing ambiguity. The nature and origin of the craft could not be definitively determined. This conclusion, rather than closing the book on the Belgian UFO wave, flung the door wide open for ongoing speculation, debate, and inquiry.
What do you remember from that moment on?
The pain and the feeling that I was mortally wounded. Something was so wrong inside.
Venturing further into the realm of personal encounters, we find ourselves immersed in the harrowing account of Travis Walton, an American logger whose purported abduction in 1975 stands as one of the most intriguing and well-known cases in the annals of UFO history. In the crisp autumn of November 1975, in the Apache Sitgreaves National Forests of Arizona, Walton and his logging crew were wrapping up their work for the day. As the men drove home, they were startled by a bright, otherworldly glow illuminating the forest. Drawn by the light, they came upon a large, saucer-shaped object hovering in the air. Overwhelmed by curiosity, Walton left the safety of the truck to get a closer look. Suddenly, he was struck by a beam of light from the craft, which threw him to the ground. In a panic, his colleagues sped away, leaving Walton behind. When they returned later, both Walton and the mysterious craft were gone. For 5 days, Walton was missing. Despite extensive search efforts, there was no sign of him. Then, as abruptly as he had vanished, Walton reappeared, disoriented and weak, with fragmented memories of the extraordinary events he had experienced. He recalled being aboard the craft, encountering beings of non-human origin, and undergoing medical-like procedures.
They came around the table, and the three of them were coming towards me. And I just grabbed something from behind me, an object off of the shelf there, and started swinging it at them.
His vivid descriptions of the craft's interior, the being's appearance, and the inexplicable technology he witnessed added a chilling depth to his narrative. The Walton case sparked significant media attention, and a polygraph test administered to Walton and his crew seemed to corroborate their story. Over the years, the case has been subjected to scrutiny, skepticism, and debate, yet it remains an enduring part of UFO lore, reminding us of the profound and often unsettling impact these encounters can have on those who experience them. As the Travis Walton abduction case sparked heated debate and scrutiny, just a few years later, another mass sighting would leave witnesses astonished and seeking answers. In 1997, the skies over Phoenix, Arizona, were host to an extraordinary event that would come to be known as the Phoenix Lights. On the evening of March 13th, thousands of residents observed a massive V-shaped formation of lights silently gliding across the night sky. The formation, estimated to be several football fields in length, captivated onlookers and made headlines across the nation. Similar to the Belgian wave, the Phoenix Lights event captured the attention of both the public and the military. Despite official explanations attributing the lights to flares dropped by the Air National Guard, many witnesses remain unconvinced, citing the formation's immense size and near-silent movement. The Phoenix Lights case, like the Belgian wave, underscores the collective nature of many UFO sightings and the persistent intrigue that surrounds these unexplained aerial phenomena. Following the Phoenix Lights incident, many residents felt that the government's explanations were inadequate and unsatisfactory, fueling suspicions of a possible cover-up. This sense of unease and distrust is not unique to the Phoenix Lights case, as other high-profile incidents involving military personnel have similarly left the public questioning the true nature of these encounters. Two such cases that stand out are the Rendlesham Forest Incident and the USS Nimitz UFO encounter. Both of these events involve military personnel experiencing close encounters with unidentified aerial phenomena, only to be met with skepticism or silence from the authorities. As we delve into these cases, we explore the complex relationship between UFO sightings and the military, and the ongoing debate surrounding government transparency and the unknown. In the early hours of December 26, 1980, The quiet of the Rendlesham Forest, located between two Royal Air Force bases in Suffolk, England, was shattered by an unusual sight. Military personnel stationed at RAF Woodbridge reported seeing a series of strange lights descending into the forest. Intrigued and concerned, a group of servicemen ventured into the woods to investigate what they initially believed to be a downed aircraft. As they entered the forest, the men were astonished to find a glowing metallic object hovering just above the ground. The craft was covered in strange symbols, unlike any writing they had ever seen. One of the servicemen, Sergeant Jim Peniston, claimed to have approached and even touched the object, experiencing a telepathic download of binary code that he later recorded in his notebook. The following day, base personnel discovered 3 indentations in the ground where the craft had allegedly been, as well as increased levels of radiation at the site. Word of the mysterious encounter quickly spread, and over the next 2 nights, more sightings of strange lights were reported by military personnel and local civilians alike. The deputy base commander, Lieutenant Colonel Charles Holt, led a team into the forest to investigate the situation further. During their excursion, Holt recorded what is now known as the Holt tape, a real-time audio account of their experiences in the forest.
So there's other trees here that are damaged in similar fashion?
Yes, all towards Saturday landing site.
Okay, why don't you take a picture of that and remember your picture, and you got to be writing this down. It's going to be on the tape.
I've got a tape measure with you.
This is the picture. Your first picture will be at the first tree.
At least in my view, one of the most credible witnesses in history of somebody who's witnessed a UFO. Not only witnessed, but got to, how do you put it, like chase it, essentially?
Chased it. In November 2004, the USS Nimitz carrier strike group was conducting training exercises off the coast of Southern California when a series of inexplicable events took place. Fast-moving, unidentified objects were detected on radar, prompting the dispatch of 2 FA-18 Super Hornets to investigate. The pilots, Commander David Fravor and Lieutenant Commander Jim Slate, encountered a white oval-shaped object, approximately 40 feet long.
And we see this little white tic-tac, because we're about 20,000 feet above it, and it's going basically north-south and then east-west, north, and it's abrupt. It's very abrupt.
Fravor described the UFO as rapidly accelerating, descending, and even hovering in a manner that no known human-made aircraft could replicate. Despite their attempts to pursue the object, the pilots were easily outmaneuvered, and the UFO eventually disappeared from sight. The Nimitz encounter gained widespread attention when, in 2017, the US Department of Defense confirmed the authenticity of the footage recorded during the incident. This unprecedented acknowledgement by the government reignited public interest in UFO phenomena and fueled speculation about the true nature of the mysterious objects.
People, I think, have conflated the concept of a UFO with whether we're visited by aliens. UFO means unidentified, flying object. Okay.
Another military encounter that drew worldwide attention was the so-called Battle of Los Angeles. On the night of February 24, 1942, mere months after the attack on Pearl Harbor, the city of Los Angeles found itself engulfed in chaos as military personnel and civilians alike reported seeing an unidentified object in the night sky. Fearing a potential enemy attack, anti-aircraft guns were fired into the air, unleashing a barrage of artillery in an attempt to bring down the mysterious intruder. For hours, searchlights scanned the skies, and the city was plunged into a blackout as the military struggled to make sense of the situation. Remarkably, despite the intense firepower directed at the object, it seemed to remain unscathed, eventually disappearing from sight. In the aftermath, the official explanation was that it had been a false alarm triggered by war nerves and misidentified weather balloons.
And it never even occurred to me, even though I was looking at an extraterrestrial vehicle, that, this wasn't man-made.
Bob Lazar, a name synonymous with Area 51, has been at the center of one of the most controversial and captivating UFO stories for decades. In 1989, Lazar made the shocking claim that he had been employed as a physicist at a top-secret facility called S4, located near Area 51 in Nevada. According to Lazar, his job was to reverse engineer extraterrestrial technology, specifically the propulsion systems of 9 captured UFOs. Lazar's revelations of advanced propulsion systems, such as the so-called Element 115, and his descriptions of the inner workings of these craft captured the imagination of the public, making Area 51 and S4 synonymous with UFO and alien conspiracy theories.
We weren't building this thing. We were trying to find out how it was made. We were back engineering it.
His claims also gave rise to heated debates and intense scrutiny, with many supporters arguing that his knowledge of such advanced technologies was evidence of his involvement with these clandestine projects. However, skeptics have pointed to numerous inconsistencies and inaccuracies in Lazar's story. Notably, Lazar's educational and employment background has been called into question, with critics arguing that there is no evidence to support his claims of having attended prestigious institutions like MIT and Caltech, nor any records of his supposed employment at S4 or other government facilities. Additionally, despite Lazar's claims about Element 115, the isotope he described was later found to be highly unstable, contradicting his assertions of its use as a stable fuel source for extraterrestrial propulsion systems. These discrepancies, along with the absence of corroborating evidence or witnesses, have led many to dismiss Lazar's claims as fabrications or exaggerations. The Bob Lazar story remains an enigma that continues to generate debate among UFO enthusiasts and skeptics alike. While some believe that Lazar's revelations provide a rare glimpse into the hidden world of clandestine government projects and extraterrestrial technology, others argue that his account is nothing more than a carefully crafted hoax designed to captivate the imagination and perpetuate the mythos surrounding Area 51 and its alleged secrets.
You walk in there and it feels as if you shouldn't be there. I know that sounds kind of corny, but it's a real ominous feeling. It's not an exciting feeling.
Crop circles, another enigmatic phenomenon closely associated with UFOs and extraterrestrial encounters, have been a subject of intrigue and debate for decades. These intricate patterns, often appearing overnight in fields of crops, have captured the imagination of both believers and skeptics alike. The first recorded crop circle appeared in 1678 in a woodcut pamphlet titled The Mowing Devil. However, the modern era of crop circle sightings began in the late 1970s, primarily in the United Kingdom, and soon spread across the globe. Many crop circle formations exhibit intricate geometric designs and display a high degree of symmetry and precision. Their sudden appearance and complexity have led some to suggest that they may be the work of extraterrestrial beings, attempting to communicate with us through symbols and patterns. Skeptics, on the other hand, argue that crop circles are nothing more than elaborate hoaxes perpetrated by humans. Indeed, some self-proclaimed circle makers have come forward, demonstrating how they create these designs using simple tools such as planks and ropes. However, not all crop circles can be easily explained by human intervention, leaving the door open for alternative explanations. In some cases, crop circle formations have been associated with unusual phenomena, such as balls of light, unexplained noises, and even electromagnetic anomalies. These occurrences have further fueled speculation about the possible link between crop circles and extraterrestrial encounters. Close encounters of the fifth kind, a term coined by UFO researcher Dr. Stephen Greer, represents a unique category of UFO and extraterrestrial encounters. These incidents involve direct communication or interaction between humans and supposed extraterrestrial beings, often initiated by the human experiencer through conscious intent or specific protocols. Dr. Greer and his followers claim that these encounters can be achieved through meditation, remote viewing, and the use of light and sound signaling devices. The goal of these interactions is to foster a peaceful dialogue and build understanding between humans and extraterrestrial intelligences. Skeptics and critics argue that there is little to no concrete evidence supporting the existence of close encounters of the fifth kind. They contend that these experiences may be the result of overactive imaginations, wishful thinking, or altered states of consciousness. As we explore the world of UFOs and extraterrestrial encounters, it's crucial to consider the scientific perspective on these phenomena. While many UFO sightings remain unexplained, the scientific community has put forth various hypotheses and conducted research to help better understand the nature of these events. One notable organization in this field is the Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence, SETI. SETI's primary goal is to detect radio signals or other forms of communication from extraterrestrial civilizations. By scanning the skies for signs of intelligent life, SETI hopes to answer the age-old question of whether we are alone in the universe. One intriguing event in SETI's history is the detection of the WOW signal in 1977, a strong narrowband radio signal that has never been observed again or satisfactorily explained, leaving many to wonder if it was a genuine extraterrestrial transmission. In addition to searching for signals, the scientific community also seeks to explain UFO sightings through natural phenomena and human-made objects. For example, many UFO sightings can be attributed to atmospheric phenomena, such as lenticular clouds, light refraction, or even the planet Venus appearing particularly bright in the sky. Others can be explained by man-made objects like weather balloons, satellites, and experimental aircraft. Moreover, some scientists propose that the human brain itself could play a role in UFO sightings. The phenomenon of pareidolia, where the brain perceives familiar shapes or patterns in random stimuli, could lead some individuals to perceive UFOs in otherwise ordinary situations. Additionally, sleep paralysis or other altered states of consciousness might contribute to the feeling of encountering extraterrestrial beings. While skeptics often argue that the lack of physical evidence, such as crashed spacecraft or extraterrestrial artifacts, casts doubt on the reality of UFOs, many within the scientific community remain open to the possibility of extraterrestrial life. But one fact remains clear: as long as there have been people, there have been sightings.
Point in our discussions privately with General Secretary Gorbachev, when you stop to think that we're all God's children, wherever we may live in the world, I couldn't help but say to him, just think how easy his task and mine might be in these meetings that we held if suddenly there was a threat to this world from some other species, from another planet, outside in the universe. We'd forget all the little local differences that we have between our countries, and we would find out once and for all that we really are all human beings here on this earth together.